All this category of men that love to impress outsiders rather than impress their family, what do you hope to achieve? You see a man, his family cannot eat three square meal a day, but he's in the bar declaring 10 bottles, 15 bottles, 17 bottles to his fellow men so that they can call him Mudugu or they can hail him and clap for him. When they're done hailing and clapping for you, what else? Then you go home and your kids are suffering, your wife is lamenting. When I read the messages of women in my inbox complaining of how their husbands have refused to take care of them, it draws tears to my eyes. How can you have money and you're not thinking about taking care of your wife and your children? Then what is the money for? There are men who their joy comes from the fact that they know that their family, their wife and their children are enjoying their money and they are seeing it. That alone is a satisfaction on its own. But you will see some men, once they go outside where these people are much, they will start contributing 10 million, 10 billion, 15 billion. Such men, their family have not even received 100,000 from them. If you're that kind of person, please put a stop to it. It's a different thing that your husband does not have, and you know he does not have. But it's painful when you know your husband has but has refused to bring out. Let me tell you something you don't understand as a man. Your pride is in the way your children looks. It's in the way your wife looks. If you're that man who is looking all glowing and you're looking all fresh and your wife is looking tattered and your children are looking unkempt, you have failed as a man. If nobody have told you about it, I'm telling you about it right now. A lot of men will do everything to see that their children are looking good and their wife is looking good. But this category of men that I'm talking about today, are those ones which the Igbo people will call Okammanama, Okammanezi. They want people's pleaser. They want to please everybody except their own family. Your family is your first point of call. In fact, your family is your first responsibility. You will see some of them taking care of their sisters, their parents, their cousins, their nephews, and they're neglecting their wife and children. Once you're married as a man, your first responsibility is to your children and your wife. Every other thing you do for any other person is a charity work. But whatever you're doing to your children and to your wife, it's your duty, it's your responsibility, something you ought to do. So when you see some men waiting for their wife or their children to begin to beg them to do what they are supposed to do, it's really, really alarming. So if you're that kind of man who is always a people pleaser, who is always waiting to impress other people except apart from impressing your family, I beg, just go home and take care of the family. Because at the end of the day, those same people you're trying to please will still turn around and talk about you. They will turn around and laugh at you. They will turn around and use you as topic of discussion. Because the people you're trying to please are taking care of their family. That is why they cannot even afford that bottles of beer that you are giving to them. The people that you are giving bottles of beer, let me tell you, they have money to buy bottles of beer. But that money, they will rather use it and feed their children very well and take care of their home than to come out and give and drink bottles of beer. But they know that people like you are always there to sponsor the beer because, as usual, you want them to hail you. So what will they do? They will hail you now. When they hail you, the money comes out. So who is fooling you? Please go home and take care of your family. That's your first point of duty.